Welcome to Cancer is Curable Now. I'm Marcus Freudenmann, your host. Today we talk about stress. And you know, coming towards Christmas, I think it's something that we all need to understand because stress is really painful. And as Bruce Lipton says, there is those push button reactions. And especially if you have family coming together, this can be actually very painful. You know, like they know exactly what to do to trigger those emotions, especially parents, relatives, you know, brothers and sisters. They can cause us those extreme emotions. Or, you know, like you receive a present and you expect something and then it's not what you expected. That can be pretty stressful and frustrating. Or you give out presents beautifully wrapped and then they just look at it and put it away because they don't like it. You know, there is a lot of tension in those moments around Christmas, spiritual beliefs that clash, all sorts of things. And you know, on the list of stressful things, that's actually on spot number 4 or 5. So I would say it's something worthwhile talking about. When we look at stress, we have to understand the subconscious mind. And the subconscious mind is the sum of all your memories, the sum of all your emotionally charged memories. So let's say you learn something from your parents or peers or school, the teachers, by experience or from media, that something is really, really beautiful. Well, then you would store that in your subconscious mind as something which is stored all positive and you don't see any drawbacks. Now, this is what we call an emotionally charged positive memory or illusion, as I call them. You know, let's say media shows you that beautiful white sandy beach island with the palm tree and the cocktail and everything is a dream. And that's an illusion that you have in your mind. It's a dream. I want to go to such an island and you know, this is how my world has to be. It results into a goal. And all of a sudden you have a new goal. I need to go to this island. I need to have a happy marriage. I need to want children and then I'll be happy. If I get, you know, that beautiful car, then I'll be happy. If I have my computer and my office is finally set up and I'll be working, then I'm very happy. That's the goal box. And then we have on the other side, those negative events. And let's just say we have here, you know, nothing positive, but all negative. And all this negative here is something that we learned from parents or from teachers or from school or by experience as something we want to avoid. We don't want to have that in our life. We never want to have bankruptcy. We never want to get divorced. We never want this. We never want that. Which results in our goal box into all the things, you know, like which are on this side. I don't want to have that. I don't want to have that. This is something I really don't want. And I don't want to have a divorce, and I don't want to have children which are lying, and I don't want to have that. All the things that are stored negative and all the things that are stored positive both result in a goal box which actually teaches us, you know, positive and negative, reject and attract. That's pretty much it. Now, as we go through life and we have that opinion, this is how my life has to be. Well, we experience success. You know, we can certain things we can tick off. You know, like we have that, we have the car, we've got the computer. Now we still have this and this and this to go, and we haven't been to that beautiful island. Now let's just take this sample of the island. If you have that as a dream and then you finally manage, you pay all your ways, you buy the ticket, you go there. Well, what happens to this illusion of being all good? Now, from a previous recording, that's already filled. So we take that out. So what happens when you come to the island? Is it all beautiful? Is it all that spectacular? Well, when I had that dream and I got there, I was pretty frustrated about those hundreds of mosquitoes that were everywhere. And you know, like every night we had tons of mosquitoes and well, it was still beautiful during the day. Well, and then the air conditioning wasn't really working, so it was stinking hot at night and we could hardly breathe. It was really exhausting. And then the water wasn't quite as clean. The first day we got there, it was clean, but then the current changed and then it wasn't really that crystal clean anymore. And the waiter was really, really cheating us. And they were charging us for every single bit that we wanted a bit more. And actually, you know, when I think about the cost that we paid, almost $2,500 for this, it was quite expensive. Plus, a lot of friends were envious and you know, didn't really want to share that joy with us. And you can probably list a ton of drawbacks to that. You know, which means every time we achieve success and we reach a goal that we had, you know, one of those illusions, those dreams, when I have that child, I'll be happy. What about the sleepless night? What about all the poop? What about all the diseases and the worries and the fears, you know, and the arguments with our husband or with our wife, and who takes care, who looks after? I'm too tired, you go. All those things are not in the picture when we dream of the child. But once we have it, all of a sudden they appear. When I have that business, I don't know, I can probably take you 2,000 examples. You know, I do that for living with people to take them through seeing the other side. But I tell you what, when you go into it and you realize every single dream that you have, once you have it, it will be completely equally negative as positive. It's never only good, it's always both. So what happened here? It neutralizes into zero. You know, like instead of drawing it as a wave, you can also, you know, like have a swing. And on that swing, you just had before all your positives stacked. You know, like when I'm there, then it's all perfect. And as you get there, you realize, you know, like all the things are even on the way. And that's, you know, another way to hold balance. As soon as you realize that this was an illusion and that it has both sides to it, it's neutral, you know, like it swings in the middle, it's neutral. Which means the bubble popped. For me, it's just an illusion less. I don't need to hold that into my mind anymore. I'm not, you know, there is 1,000 others. I'm not saying that there is no more illusions. I actually have probably 1,000,000 in there. But, you know, like that one is gone. And then let's look at a negative one. Now on the other side, you know, like that was from a previous recording already filled, so we'll have to cut that out. Now, if we don't achieve any of our goals, or we actually, you know, like we got the divorce, or we managed to, you know, have a bankruptcy, or we got sick, all of a sudden our negative list is coming to pass as well, and we are a failure. Well, are we a failure? Or are we actually just experiencing a lesson of life? You know, like I realized many, many times, and especially now working with cancer patients, that when they experience a big problem, especially with disease, that afterwards they say, wow, this has transformed my life to the good. Actually, I would not exchange that experience for anything in the world, because it helped me to grow dramatically. You know, like I made a bankruptcy at a certain stage in life, and from that I learned so much that from then on I built everything a lot more constructed, a lot more precise. And that lesson is something I wouldn't give away because it has brought me to where I am today. So every single thing that we perceive as negative is actually a beautiful step forward. And think about it. As a child, you don't need to fall only on your butt. You fall to the side, you fall on your nose, you fall in all directions. And it's actually necessary that you fall in every direction for your balancing system and for your muscle training, that you learn how to walk. You need to learn to hold to the front your balance, to the back, to the side. And that's how we learn. We make mistakes in order to become a master. If you learn to walk on a rope, how many times do you think you fall down? Well, certainly many, many times. And that's exactly what we do with life. As long as we do not manage a certain area, let's say relationship, let's say, you know, money, let's say health, those lessons that we make, this falling off the string or falling on our butt, it is actually not very pleasant, but, you know, we learn. We learn heaps from it. And with every single time that we learn, we become a master. Well, which means we actually don't fail. We actually learn on the way to success, which is a very different way of looking at things. But let's just look at it, what it does in total. You know, like we've deleted this one as well. Now let's just say we had 10 million of those lessons in here. You know, like I just make a few dots to make that visual. Let's say a person who is fully dense with opinions. That's how it has to be. That's wrong. That's right. All those fanatic viewpoints, that's people with extreme imprints into their subconscious mind. How do you think their cloud looks like? Like a rain cloud? Thunderstorm cloud? Dark, heavy cloud? Yes, that's exactly what it is. They look like this guy, freaked out. They have to defend their opinions. They have to watch out. They need to be in control. They need to be in charge. They need to be very, very, you know, like they judge everything. This should be different. This ought to be, and this could be, and you should have done this. All their opinions, all their lopsided perspectives, how they think the world needs to be, is actually challenged in any form all around them. And that's why they are freaking out. They are stressed because they cannot defend their lopsided beliefs. All these little things here, you know, like are either extreme positive or extreme, and they don't have yet seen the other side. Whereas if you delete one after the other and you just take them out, you know, like with every little exercise, with every failure, you know, I delete one of those. You know, like maybe I need sometimes 4 exercises to delete one. And with every success I reach, I take out, you know, my illusions, all the positive ones. And as soon as I do, all of a sudden, what happens? My cloud disappears. My cloud is light. I can see the sunshine. I can see the joy of life. I don't need to judge things anymore. I can actually appreciate things for what they are. And now, as a final result, let's come to that word, unconditional love. You know, like that unconditional means not it has to be in that form, otherwise I don't like it. It doesn't need to fit into my goal box because I can take it as it is. I can love it for what it is. I can love my wife, my children, my house for what it is. It's actually neutral. And I appreciate it while it's in my life, but I'm not attached to it. And this is really a very different way of looking at life. Once my cloud is empty and I've cleared up pretty much most of my serious elements, I can tell you what, this guy is guaranteed to change facial expression. It's guaranteed to look very, very different because it's a big smile and you know, like that's already different, and then he dreams of a new fantasy to make him go for the next success. And you know, like that's actually what I do. I plan things. And I plan 2 lifetimes ahead. You know, like I have that big dream that I want to achieve. And I know every failure on the way will only be another lesson on my way to success. And once I've achieved it, I know I'm going to smile again and I look out for the next illusion, for the next dream that I can pursue. Now, this form of belief is something that has taken all stress out of my life. I know I'm moving towards my goals and I make little lessons in between. And I thought I'll share that with you as a Christmas present so that you can have maybe a different outlook at life. Merry Christmas.